on divine qualities. Today we will discuss ЩРީ or ЩRީ, that is modesty. We discuss these qualities from the 16th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, from first 3 verses. This is in the second verse. Ahimsa satyam akradas, tyagah shanti rapeshanam, daya bhuteshwar loluptvam, mardvaram, ЩRީ achapalam. And ЩRީ means modesty. Modesty is very important quality for a devotee. Modesty, as Prabhupada mentions in his purport here, he says that modesty is to avoid anything abominable. That means that we have an inner compass that leads us towards some virtuous activities and virtuous consciousness. As we said yesterday, Prabhupada says that philosophy without good character is useless. Actually, it's not only useless, it's harmful. Harmful for everyone, because high philosophy is, of course, is coming from Krishna, and it's most pure, as Krishna explains in 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā. He says, Nahi ganena sadrasham pavitramikha vidati, svat svayam yoga samsiddhah kalenatmani vindati. That by pure spiritual knowledge, we can approach Krishna, actually, we completely purify our existence. But if we just entertain ourselves with high philosophy, and we don't develop these good qualities, it means that we put this high philosophy under the feet of materialistic people. So actually, we desecrate Krishna, because high philosophy is Krishna himself. Actually, no philosophy comes from anyone else. As Krishna himself says, Sarvasya chaham hridisannavishto mattak smritir jnanam apochanam cha vedaischa sarver aham eva vidyo vedanta krit veda viti eva chaham. That he is compiler of Vedanta, he is the knower of the Vedas. Actually, all Veda comes from him, and Veda means knowledge. So every philosophy comes from him. Every true philosophy comes from him, not concocted philosophy. So if we entertain this high philosophy, but we don't develop these good qualities, is very dangerous, actually, is offensive. Therefore, this high philosophy is meant for our purpose, for our benefit, to surrender our heart to Krishna, and to become a perfect person, and not just that we have some knowledge that we have studied, and we have remembered this knowledge, and we try to defeat all other with this knowledge. This is useless. Yes. For example, we know these examples from Vrindavan, when this great Digvijay came and wanted to have a sign of surrender, of victory from Sanatan and Rupa Goswamis. And then Jiva Goswami, of course, couldn't tolerate that his gurus, Rupa and Sanatana, were defeated by some proud person. He defeated him completely. Of course, this was also not just some philosophy without good character. Just to the contrary, he protected the honor of his spiritual masters, and so this was his duty, actually, to defeat such a person. But the attitude of Rupa and Sanatana, although they were the greatest philosophy of practically all time, they didn't want to use the high philosophy for fighting to prove who is higher and who is lower. Yes, they wanted to present this philosophy for the benefit of others, and we all have this great benefit from and Sanatana Goswami's writings. Yes, and we are all considered Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. So Mardavam, which is modesty, is extremely important quality, and it's one of the aspects of humility. Yes, Mardavam, of course, is also a connection with the supersoul in the heart, because it's inner voice that teaches us that we shouldn't do something which is improper. And this is actually most essential in the spiritual path, that we connect with the Lord in our heart. It's impossible to advance spiritually without this inner connection with the Lord. So therefore, this inner connection, which is expressed through modesty, therefore it's ЩΡީ. This word is very close to Hridaya, to the heart. Yes, means that we follow the instruction from the Lord in our heart. Yes, and we have plenty examples of this modest disposition from different devotees also in Vrindavan. For example, even the most glorious of devotees, the gopis from Vrindavan, they approached Krishna with extreme modesty. When Krishna played his flute and called all the gopis some one night in the forest, they dropped everything immediately and just ran to Krishna. And they couldn't wait to meet Krishna. Although Krishna was somewhere in the deep forest, which was full of different ferocious beasts and other animals, and um, and scorpions and snakes and such dangerous creatures, they nevertheless they didn't consider their own safety and just ran to Krishna. And modesty is also such characteristic that we don't care for our security, actually, um, or that we don't care for the urges of the senses and urges of the mind, and we care very much for what is pleasing to my lover. Therefore, it's important to have Krishna for our lover. If we have anyone else or anything else as our lover, we will definitely act for his or its benefit, our benefit actually. For for those who have any other lover than Krishna, it means that we have actually only our false ego as our lover. Yes, because then we consider all other relationships that we have as something that we can exploit. Yes, or anything that we possess, that think we possess, we consider that it's beneficial for exploitation. And actually, all different relationships in this world are just based on this idea of mutual exploitation. And only relationship with Krishna is based on love. Therefore, it's extremely difficult for conditioned soul to establish such a relationship. And only Krishna is one who accepts and chooses a conditioned soul, um, and give him prema bhakti. Because prema bhakti is not something that we can gain, it's something that we are bestowed with. Yes, we are given this mercy. Therefore, the only hope for developing prema bhakti is to cry, and to pray, and to develop great desire to attain it. Yes, therefore, here, or modesty, is extremely important quality. Krishna himself states here, um, and it lists it amongst different qualities. So therefore we shouldn't take it cheaply, this modesty. And we said that this Hri, or modesty, is one of the aspects of humility. And as we know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has put this humility as the central aspect of sadhana, or abhidaya, or practice of Krishna consciousness. Yes. Trinada Pisunichana Turori Vasahishnana Amani Namana Dina Kirtana Sadahari. We cannot approach Krishna with arrogant heart. In the very next verse, in the fourth verse actually, but these are together, these first three are together, so next verse I consider fourth verse. Krishna explains the demoniac qualities: Dampo, Darpo, Vimanascha, Krodam, Parusham, Evascha. Agyana Chabijatasya, Partha Sampadam, Partha Sampadam Asurim. Yeah. And Krishna explains that these demonic qualities begin with damba, or pride, or arrogance. Dambo darpo vimanascha. Yes. Darpa is arrogance, and damba is pride. Yes. So we can see that extremely important it is to develop humility. It's against pride and arrogance. Yes. And modesty is an aspect of humility. And Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, he says that we should be more humble than a blade of grass. Yes. And more tolerant than a tree. And we shouldn't expect any honor or any respect for ourselves, but we should give all respect to others. Yes. So, as we see, this is very important. And also Krishna in 13th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā starts this explanation what is knowledge with adambitvam amanitvam adambitvam ahimsakshantra arjavam acharya paishanam shecham steryam atman vinigraha. He says amanitvam adambitvam. Amanitvam means to be without pride. Yes, to be humble. And adambitvam means to be without pride. One would think that this is one and the same quality, but why Krishna states it in with two different words, amanitvam, adambitvam? And this is because amanitvam, or humility, and also as we said, the modesty is one aspect of humility, means that we don't consider ourselves as God. Yes. And because humility means that we can understand that we are actually completely powerless, that all power that comes is from Krishna. And Krishna himself says this. Yes. Apaurusham Nirinam. Paurusham Nirinam. He says that I'm the ability in man. And he says, Balam Balavatam Jaham. I'm the strength of the strong. And Buddhir Buddhimatam Asmi. I'm the intelligence of the intelligent. So one who is wise, he understands that everything comes from Krishna. All my abilities, all my strength, all my knowledge, all my vivek, or power of discrimination, comes from Krishna, and nothing is mine. Therefore, I should be completely humble, more than a blade of grass. And I understand that Krishna is my only protector and my only maintainer, and that everything in my life is completely dependent on Krishna. Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of Krishna, as we know. So one who is Krishna conscious understands that doesn't mean, of course, that we should be lethargic or not active. Just on the contrary, we should use these abilities that are Krishna's gifts in full, with full capacity. Yes, we shouldn't just waste what is given by Krishna. In Krishna, as we said, abilities are given by Krishna, intelligence is given by Krishna, our strength is given by Krishna, everything is given by Krishna. So we should use with all enthusiasm all these abilities that are given by Krishna for his service and nothing else. And if we don't succeed in something, we should know that Krishna didn't allow us to succeed with certain purpose. Even though we consider that this is service to Krishna, but we should understand that if Krishna doesn't allow us to succeed in something, we cannot succeed in something. It's impossible. So if we see that others are thriving somewhere, we shouldn't be envious of them. We should understand that this is Krishna's will, that Krishna and Krishna's power behind them. Yes, even if they are demoniac, we should understand that these demoniac forces are thriving just because of Krishna's will. Yes. No one can do anything without Krishna's will. Yeah. So also demoniac forces are successful because of Krishna's sanction. Yes. Therefore, that doesn't mean, of course, that we shouldn't fight against demoniac forces. And demoniac forces are successful just to give us opportunity, that Krishna gives us opportunity to use all our abilities, intelligence, strength, influence, and so on, to fight against demoniac principles. And not only external demoniac principles, but also internal demoniac principles. And they are full of demoniac, internal demoniac principles in every conditioned soul. Yes. Therefore, in the path of perfection, as long as we are not perfect, there will be many impurities in our heart still lingering there. So, therefore, it's crucial to understand properly the philosophy. Yes. Therefore, this ЩРީ, or modesty, is extremely important, because if we are not modest, if we are arrogant and think that everything belongs to us, and that everything is meant for my enjoyment, then it's impossible to connect with Krishna. It's impossible to connect with Krishna. And it's the sign of gross ignorance. Yeah, therefore, we should be very modest. We should not brag around that we can do this or that, or we should be very also modest in the sense that we don't do anything abominable, as Prabhupada mentions here in the purport. Yes. So this is extremely important quality, modesty. Modesty. Yes. And when Krishna, then if we go back to this story of Krishna calling the gopis in the forest, yes, he sent them back to Vrindavan. And the gopis were, of course, extremely sad and despondent because they didn't want to lose Krishna's association. They came to be with him, to completely surrender to him, to give their lives to him. So they were very modest in front of Krishna, and they were crying, but they didn't protest. So of course they begged Krishna to accept them. And this is also very important teaching for us. Many times we can, anyone who is at least to some degree sincere in devotional service, he has the times, certain times in his chanting, that he has a feeling that Krishna is calling him, or that he is connecting with Krishna. But then next moment or next chanting, we have this feeling of being rejected by Krishna. So this is common effect of chanting. Sometimes we feel connection, and sometimes we completely lose it. And this loss of connection with Krishna is, of course, in the same sense as Krishna rejected, so-called rejected gopis they came when they came to the forest in the middle of the night. So it's all meant for our deepening our hankering for Krishna. And when Krishna then left the gopis after they danced together and they thought that they're the most, the best girls in the universe, and he left them first with Srimati Radharani, and then he left her also. Then gopis were searching for Krishna, and finally Krishna returned to them, and um, he said that this is his way to increase hankering for him in the hearts of the devotees. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in his commentary that such a devotee becomes extremely eager to meet Krishna again and again and again. And because Krishna is hiding and doesn't reveal himself, such a devotee thinks everything I, I have done in devotional life is useless because I'm such an offender. Krishna doesn't want to give me even a drop of mercy. And then, in such a state of mind, devotee despondently turns to Krishna and cries for his mercy. And he understands that I'm completely low. I committed innumerable offenses, and sinful activities. But please, Krishna, even though I'm such an offender, even though I'm such a sinner, please, you are my only shelter. I don't have any other shelter than you. Yes, with such an attitude, um, we can attract Krishna's mercy. Yes, but if one thinks that I'm great devotee, I'm perfect knower of philosophy, I'm this, I'm that, it's not possible to attract Krishna. Yes, because Krishna is attracted by love and truth, because Krishna is absolute truth. And of course, if we think that we are something special, Krishna is not attracted by this, because it's not true. It's as simple as that. If immediately when one thinks that he's something special, that he's something really important, that he's great personality in any way or form, um, then Krishna doesn't consider him such a person attractive, yes, because he's false, and Krishna doesn't consider false things to be worthy of consideration, because he's absolute truth. Yes. So Krishna therefore says, Devi Hiesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mam Eva Yi Prapadanti Maya Metantarantiti. That we can overcome Maya only if we surrender to him unconditionally. He says, this is my Maya, and it's Duratya. It's impossible to overcome this Duratya Maya. But if you surrender to me, then you can overcome it easily. Yes, this is the secret of success. To know that I'm my abilities are empty. I'm not able to do anything on my own. Actually, it's all Krishna's will that I can do anything, that I perceive anything with my eyes, with my ears, with my nose, with my tongue, with my skin. Um, it's just Krishna's mercy, and it's just meant for my service to Krishna. Therefore, um, this humility, which is expressed also with modesty, is unavoidable in our spiritual life. Yes. So, yes, the next example from Shastra is also Draupadi. Although she was trying they tried to strip her naked, um, she and tried to get her for their wife. Duryodhana wanted her to be his wife, and to humiliate her from before of everyone, because she didn't want to be his wife. um, she retained this modesty. Yes, and she turned to Krishna. She fought with all her might for her honor, and we should take this to heart, that we should fight for the right cause with all our strength, but we should finally understand that Krishna is our only protector, that there is no other protector than Krishna. Yes, therefore, Krishna, finally, we should lift our hands and say, Oh Govinda, oh Krishna, please help me, please protect me, please let me serve you in a proper mood. And this was the mood of also the elephant Gajendra. Gajendra was a very powerful personality. He was First, he lived in the heavenly sphere, um, under the Mandara mountain, I believe, and he was the king of the jungle. Everyone was honoring him. Even lions and tigers were were subjects. Yes, they in great honor and respect they stepped aside when Gajendra was walking through the jungle. Yes, so Gajendra was extremely powerful personality, uh, and one day he went for a picnic with his friends and family, and they came to the beautiful lake filled with lotus flowers and so on. And Gajendra, with his bevy of female companions, um, entered this lake, and they frolicked in these waters, and were, were bathing in these waters. But suddenly, the crocodile of faith of fate mm, bit the leg of Gajendra. And this was extremely powerful crocodile. And Gajendra then fought with him for many celestial years. Yes. And this is also the example of our fight in material world. We can fight against the odds in this material world for many years, and we uh, can give our heart to this fight. We can give our all our abilities in this fight, and we can count on our friends and family members that that they will help us in this fight. But as Gajendra was helpless, and no family member and no friend could possibly help him in this position, so no one can help us in our fight against the odds, against the material nature, the crocodile of material nature. So on the verge of death, when he finally realized that nothing can help him, he remembered prayers from his previous life, because he was previous in his previous life he was great king Indradyumna, who was cursed, I believe, by Angira Muni to become an elephant, because he this sage considered that he was not received properly. So he cursed Indradyumna to become an elephant. So Indradyumna Maharaj accepted this curse, um, as we all should accept any reversal in our life with grateful heart. And although in his next life he became an animal, um, he still, mm, at the in the time of need, in the time of great calamity, he remembered Krishna. And this is actually the most beneficial thing of being a devotee. Because as Krishna says, Neha Bikrama Nashasti Pratyavayo Navidyati Svalpa Ampyasa Dharmasya Trayate Mahotobhayat. That Krishna will save us in the time of greatest need. Yes, all of our devotional service will never go in vain, because devotional service or bhakti is eternal. Yes, and therefore no um, advancement will become nullified. Yes, so everything is eternal. Everything we do in devotional service is eternal, and we just increase life after life after life of our devotional merit, as we can say, um, until we completely surrender. So this surrender is most crucial part of our devotional life. and we shouldn't count that these devotional credits can give us something material in return. If we consider like this, then we are most foolish. Then we are robbed of something valuable. We are robbed with from jewel, and we are given some plastic jewelry. Yes, um, because, and this is offensive actually, to think, to be attached to material things uh, while chanting the holy names. Yes, and therefore we should understand that Krishna will protect our bhakti, our strive for pure love. But if we don't strive for it ourselves, then it can take many lifetimes, not just celestial years, but many lifetimes before we really develop love for Krishna. Or maybe even millions of lifetimes, as Jiva Goswami says, that we can even chant the holy name for millions of lives without um, desired success, because we want to experience material happiness. Yes, any kind of material happiness. If we want to experience material happiness, we'll definitely receive happiness in distress. Taseva hetok praiteta kovido nalabhati yad brahmatam uparidaha. Talabhati dukkhavattanetta sukham kalina sarvatra gabira ramhasa. It is explained in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that um, this material happiness and distress, they come on their own accord. Even if we strive for happiness, we will still be subjected also to the distress. It's impossible to avoid it. And similarly, even if we don't strive for material happiness, happiness comes even without any struggle for it. But those who are Kovita, or who are very intelligent and wise, they don't strive for any of these two. They just strive to please Krishna, to search for something that is beyond the universe, what is not available anywhere in the universe. So one would think that this is craziness to strive for something that is not available anywhere in the universe. Yes, but we should strive for something that is beyond the universe. We should strive for pure, unalloyed, and uninterrupted love for Krishna. And this is the only purpose of life. So, this mardavam or modesty is therefore one of the essential qualities that we should acquire. And as we said in our previous lectures, that we should not try to acquire these qualities just to have them, to be better person, but essentially they are all meant for Krishna's pleasure. So this should be our focus, main focus. Krishna's pleasure is what it counts. Yes, and I live only for Krishna's pleasure. I'm Krishna's servant, and my only duty is to make Krishna happy. This is my only business in life, and no other business is there. Yes. So even if I have millions of businesses, every one of them should be meant for Krishna's satisfaction. Yes. Yes. This is my true purpose of my life. With anything I do, should please Krishna. So thank you very much. I invite you to join me again. I don't know about tomorrow, because tomorrow is Holy Name Festival here in Slovenia, and I will probably there. And on Saturday is Balaram Purnima, So you can check and see if there is any lecture going on at that time, particularly from 6 p.m. Central European time. Thank you very much for your attention. Hare Krishna.